Wow.
Wow, this is some really deep stuff.
I don't know what just happened, but something happened inside of me. Something snapped, something.
I wasn't expecting that either.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. It's beautiful.
Monster is like really small, but it had to become that to stop me.
And then the hurt child became present when you mentioned it.
And I didn't realize this until now.
There were things that I didn't remember until now.
Funny, I haven't seen that before.
It feels like I'm the monster. I'm kind of seeing images of things, of a world where they can exist. This clarity brings all kinds of answers.
It's clear. She hugged me and then went back to her place, I guess, in my heart. Oh, it wants to come out. It wants to bippity boppity boop Cinderella me. She's melted into my chest. It's ooey gooey.
All week been finishing things, cleaning up more, started eating vegetables again last week. And it kind of just started happening. It's almost like I just finished going through a meditation session.
I feel light, when you hit that first joint, in the morning, and
I actually feel a lot more awake.
Okay, so we'll start with asking for you to think about a part of yourself that you'd like to get to know better or change your relationship with. Or, yeah?
I kind of just went to my eyes.
Okay.
I'm starting to embrace the experiences that I see. And instead of being oh, I wish somebody could, see this and witness this with me, I'm embracing, just accepting my experience for what it is. And over the years, just noticing change in whether it be my eyes personally or whether it be how I make eye contact with people. For some reason between yesterday and today, eyes were a theme.
So when you see something, you have a part of you that says that it should be shared or shared with someone else, and you're working on kind of just being present with what you're seeing. Is that right?
Yeah. And instead of kind of being resentful towards it, more embracing and accepting. Because I as I go through life, I revisit the past, as often we do. And there are certain experiences that, I've experienced or had to either get through or have seen or witnessed, and have only been the only person to have seen or witnessed it. And so it's really hard sometimes when, whether it be the truth of another person, whether it be my truth, whether it be, just seeing and once in a lifetime experience that only if you were there, you had to see it, can explain it. It's just, it's interesting.
Yeah, so there's a part of you that's like holding on to these images or getting resentful about it, and that's what you're trying to change your relationship with, so that you're not experiencing so much of that in the moment. So right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, well, that could be. We could talk to that part if you want.
Sure.
Okay. So, where in or around your body do you notice that sensation, or what's that sensation like when you're having that kind of resentful feeling?
It is at first kind of like, no, I think I feel it in like my limbs usually. Like I'll feel it like in my hands. Like I'll get frustrated. And I it goes from like resentment and frustration and slight anger to just frustration, acceptance, and then back to resentment.
Hmm.
And then like but because I don't want to feel resentment anymore, I'll just like put it to the side and just be like whatever and keep moving.
Okay. So the resentment is separate from the frustration. They have a interplay there. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there's resentment to having to not having anybody around to experience it or to witness whatever it might be. And then there's also like the resentment of feeling that way.
Right. The frustration of feeling that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So if we're trying to get to know the part that has the resentment, to change the relationship with that, could you focus on the part that gets frustrated and see if that will relax and soften and give us space to get to know the resentful part today, and just see how it reacts to that?
Yeah.
Okay. And how do you feel towards the resentment now?
Like I want to get past it. Like I don't want to feel the resentment anymore. So there's like no negative feeling towards it. It's just like, how do we get past it at this point?
Okay.
Or how do I get past the resentment?
Okay. Well, I don't know, about that particular like process of getting past it. For me, it's all about trying to understand what it's about, and kind of getting to know it. So,
I think that'll help get past it too.
It may, but so I would also perhaps ask the part of you that is eager to get past it if it would give us space to get to know it, because it might say, no, we want to get past this, and see if it will, how it feels about us just getting to know it.
Like, it's reluctantly being like, all right. It's kind of like, if you want to, like, you already know what you already know, like, if you open Pandora's box, you open Pandora's box. That's on your own.
Yeah.
And that's where what's the point of getting to know the resentment part and not just getting past it. I think that's why I'm eager to get through it, because it's like,
Yeah, that all makes sense.
that
That all makes sense. That if there's some pain or discomfort in there, that getting closer to it seems like a bad idea to this part that just wants to get past it. So I would just let that part know that this is just a conversation that you can jump in and out of, and that it can, if at any point you're feeling like, okay, this is too uncomfortable, then that part can put the brakes on it if it wants.
Gotcha.
So now,
Okay.
how are you feeling? Now, how are you feeling towards that resentment part?
It's easier.
Yeah.
I guess there's a level of control that comes with that. It's like, oh, I can control how much, how deep, or how shallow I go.
Absolutely. Yeah. You can feel all the parts, but you can also kind of ask them to turn down the volume a little bit,
Yeah.
without completely shutting them out.
Right.
So
I think that's what I have to work on.
This resentment part can you turn towards it more? Can you see more of it, or deepen your access to it in any way?
Yeah.
Do you see any other qualities about it?
Kind of. Like, it goes between, like, something that is moving, and then something that is like not. And so it's something that I can't quite pinpoint, but I can see it.
Okay. Can you let it know that you'd like to get to know it and see how it reacts to that?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And how are you with it now? Are you, like, how close do you feel like you are to it?
Bye. We're socially distant, but we're close enough.
Okay, great. So if you're ready, try asking it what it wants you to know, or what it wants you to know about it.
It's tired. It's tired. There is a tired. There's like different levels of tired. There's a tired. You know, do you know the saying, like, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired?
Yes.
It's kind of like that.
Yeah. So it's had this role for a long time, or it's been
Yeah.
kind of,
It's been holding a lot for a long time. And it's kind of
yeah.
just like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
But
Or I'm not good.
no, but it's like, yeah, I'm good, but I'm not good because I don't know where I can drop all my stuff at. So there's
Yeah.
a level of lack of trust that's not there, or a level of trust that's
Yeah.
not there.
So
And
let it know that you see that you see how tired it is, and that makes sense to you. And try asking what it's afraid would happen if it does drop that stuff that it doesn't know where or how to drop.
that is twofold. Something might get lost, whether I forget to pick it up again or I lose it or something, just whatever, and all the stuff might get lost. And then I've had to drop things so many times and start over, more than I'd like to, more than I would have liked to. And I don't want to do it again. And if I know that if I do it again, I want it to be my final time.
So just afraid and tired of kind of restarting and not having trust that this will be the last time that you have to deal with something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, let that part know that all makes sense to you, that you get it, and show it some appreciation if you can for looking out for all of that. You know, it's doing a difficult job in trying to keep you from forgetting things or having to do things again.
It's closer.
Okay. It's reacting well to that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because it's giving it's not like it's like I want to come closer. I want to keep coming. I don't want to be this far, like it's giving off that vibe.
Is there a but after that?
No.
Okay. So are you able to just keep getting closer to it and just showing it that compassion and appreciation for doing the job it does, even if you don't really like the way it feels when it does that job sometimes.
Yeah.
And how close are you to it now?
I gave it a hug.
Awesome. How'd that
I
go?
literally gave it a hug. It was nice.
Yeah. Good. Good.
Gave it a little handshake and a hug.
Try asking it if you could take on those burdens, if you could change or heal whatever it is that this part is worried about, so that it didn't have to do that job anymore, what would it like to do instead inside of you?
I guess like turn like that energy to myself
Mm-hmm.
instead of like and not like the negative energy, but like just refocusing the energy.
Yeah, what would that
Refocus
look
and
like?
repurpose.
And take your time, like brainstorming with this part, like what are the different ways that it would like to use its energy in that positive way.
I guess like I just keep seeing turn it to yourself, like focus on yourself. Like that's all I keep seeing. And I guess it's one of those like the more I put that energy and love and desire and effort to myself, I guess I don't have to worry about the how I guess how it comes back to me.
Yeah. Does that make sense to you? I mean, it sounds beautiful to me.
No, that makes complete sense.
Yeah.
It's kind of just like, as long as you at least you said you tried. Like at least you tried, like put in the full
Yeah.
effort into trying. Can't be upset of the result because the result is not in your control. And sometimes the result might end up being better than what you were expecting.
Yeah. So it really wants to know and trust that you're trying your best. Is that right?
Yeah.
Huh. And you might ask it like, how can you do that? How can you try your best, and how can you let it know, or what does it need from you in the future so that it sees that or is reminded of that?
yoga and like my hoop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like when I know I'm in a good space when I have like a routine down, like I'm practicing daily, if not multiple times a day. Like that's how I know I'm okay. But
And
I
is
haven't been
that
doing that.
okay?
So I got to get back to that.
Mm-hmm. And is that answer coming from this part? Is it saying that it would feel like it wouldn't have this resentment if you had more of an exercise routine, or does it have more that it wants to kind of have that, I don't know, that trust?
I think it's the trusting. It's definitely the trust. The exercise routine is kind of just a way of getting that trust back. Trust with myself, trust with the universe, trust in, the process of things. Because a lot of like yoga, there's balancing and stuff like that. And so there's breathing, there's movement, there's quieting of the mind, and then there's trust, because if you're upside down in a headstand, you got to trust that you're not going to fall.
Yeah.
So I think it's just it needs trust, but it also needs freedom and flow. So I think that's where that comes from, or freedom
And is
to
it
flow.
and does it have, you said that you have had, these routines and now you don't. Does this part have anything to do with, the routines stopping, or does it know where to go, how to get them going again, or is that kind of another part that you would need to negotiate with to get back on those routines?
It knows where to go.
Mm-hmm.
It knows where to go. It knows what to do. It knows where to go. It literally, there's so many options. I think I also want to move. So I think there's that level of instability or not trusting that I'm even going to be here. So it's like, why start a routine, I guess, exercise routine, or why put into motion what I know is going to work if I'm just going to change it up shortly and just be in a whole different state. So there's that too. So it plays a role, but then I also play a role in it.
Yeah, I guess I was kind of wondering if there's like some other part that's, for example, keeping you from exercising, let's say, and then this part's kind of suffering because of this other part. Sometimes you have people have like a dynamic of kind of fighting parts, and
Yeah,
that's just
I think it's
something
more
to
my
look out for.
location. I think it's my location. I'm really fighting my environment. I don't like going outside anymore. At least not being like going out for my walks aren't necessarily enjoyable. And that's just because of the neighborhood that I live in. So there is that level of like, having like not, I guess, like not enjoying it anymore.
Yeah.
Which makes it harder to like go, because like I have to put, it takes a lot of effort to just go to the gym. There's not a gym that is, I don't live in New York anymore, you know what I mean? Like, or
Yeah.
Connecticut. Like I can't just walk across the street and go to an LA Fitness, a supermarket, a Marshalls, a Target, and all in the same, like an AT&T store, a Starbucks, all in the same like place. I can't do that here.
Yeah.
And it plays a toll, but then it's also like, I didn't realize how much that actually also helped me when I was at my, I guess, my best, because I was able to just go across the street. And if I didn't want to go across the street to LA Fitness, there was plenty of like spaces in the neighborhood that I could feel comfortable in and safe. And I can't do that here. So it makes doing things a little bit harder. Because I don't trust my environment.
Yeah, that's tough. Well, staying with that part though, I guess you're including that part in this kind of conversation so that it recognizes and you two are on the same page about the situation that you're in, and what the next steps are to feel better about that or to fix it.
Yeah, so
I have an interesting question just before you let that part go, which is to ask it how old it thinks you are.
that part thinks I'm young. It thinks I'm still in my 20s. And I'm tired. Like, I just want to chill. Like,
Yeah.
I want to live in a quaint little area. I want to get my coffee, walk my dog. I don't even have a dog yet. And I'm saying, this is what I want. Like, I just want to, be chill. I want to be in my 30s living my best 40-year-old life. Like,
right. It all makes sense to me. It all makes sense to me. We have a lot in common. So,
like, and I think my environment makes me more and more frustrated, because I'm really just over here like, I can't do this anymore. Like, and then it is frustrating because even in the physical realm, like, I can tell my environment in itself, thinks that I am younger than what I am. But in my physical realm, I get that a lot too. But not only do I get that in like the creepy way. I get that in like people in the neighborhoods, like where the kids who are younger are trying to get at you, and then it's like the older people are trying to get at you because you look younger. And I'm just like, everybody here is just weird. I need to not be around anybody.
yeah.
I'm like, everybody is just not, it's not where I need to be. This is not the environment for me. And that's why I don't trust it.
Yeah. And I'm just curious, is that on, I mean, is that on your, I mean, you talked about wanting to move. Is that like it all in your near future, or where are you with that?
So I am going between finding, because I have my my remote job, so I am basically going back and forth between, do I want to move to Charleston and like set roots there and kind of just have that be like my base home, or do I want to just do the whole like digital nomad and just go abroad and be on somebody's beach for the next year? Like,
I ask myself the same. I'm in Charleston, as you may remember, so I
Yeah.
am asking myself the same question all the time. Do I want to be in Charleston or not?
Like, and what part are you in? North Charleston? What part of Charleston are you in?
No, I used to be, well, so I went to college in Charleston, and so I was right in the mix downtown, and then I went and lived on the beach, and I got kind of peopled out. I had too much partying, too much,
Okay, fair.
madness, which, well, I say it like I couldn't have stopped it, but anyway, so then I moved out to the country, and it's a little too quiet out here where I am. So that's what I'm dealing with.
Okay, so I was looking at Somerville.
Hmm.
I don't know how far
Beautiful
that
place.
is. I don't know. I don't know. I was like, okay, it's close enough to like Charleston, but Charleston is expensive, so I need to get on like the outskirts of it.
Yeah.
Like,
But I loved it. I'm happy to talk all about Charleston. I want to make sure that this part feels like it's been heard, and that it feels like it knows um, what you might do for it in the future.
no, yeah, because honestly, these conversations are really helpful for it
Uh-huh.
because it I can easily stay going back and forth between the two for the next 2 years and never go to either one and still be stuck here. Like,
Right.
I don't want that. So like being able to talk to people about like, okay, this is what I'm thinking, and you being in Charleston, Charleston, like
Oh
that's
yeah.
yeah. So like that's and then like yeah, I got like family and stuff like that, but like no, no,
Yeah.
they are trying to leave Charleston. So and then it's like also like having the whole like digital nomad, um that whole mentality too. Like I am I don't know if that's just the comfort of what I know, like I know going away, I know travel, I
Mm.
know always on the move. I don't really know staying in one place
Yeah.
other than from my childhood. Like
Yeah.
that's the only place that I really know. And so it's like, do I want to continue to do that and kind of be like a wanderer of
Yeah.
life? Um, like, yes, I do. But then it's also like, okay, Shecoya, you're about to be 33. So kind of get it
Yeah. Yeah.
together.
Sure. Whatever. Yeah.
Like,
I, I
kind
I I know
of.
what you mean. I know what you mean.
Not fully, just
Hmm.
kind of. Like at least
Yeah.
have like a foundation. And I guess that's where it's like, okay, I'm either going to stay in Charleston or I'm going to be away for a year, and that will be my foundation.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'll just say, in in the spirit of parts work, that if I was looking at that kind of big decision, and when you talk about it, I hear you saying, I want to do this, but I also want to do this, and I also want to do this. Um, so I would recommend probably just thinking of those as different parts of yourself, and saying, and sit down with a piece of paper, and part of me wants to do this, part of me wants to do that, and really seeing those as different parts, as different people inside of you, and just, if one of them seems like they're being really extreme or unreasonable or something, that to treat it like that, where you would, spend more sorry, I got the COVID.
No, I know.
Where you would spend more time, getting to know it, and saying, okay, what's that about? And just like we did with this resentful part, seeing if you can give it a hug and get to know it.
Yeah.
But okay, so if we're ending the parts work, then I would just say thank you to that part. Thank your other parts. the part that was frustrated and didn't want to, and was concerned about stepping back, and the part that, well, just all of them.
They kind of were like tuned in.
Yeah.
They were tuned in.
Yeah, they're paying attention.
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, we can go wherever you want to go in this conversation or end it. I'm happy to talk to you about Charleston or anything else.
Yeah, no, we can end it on that, and then we can totally talk about Charleston.
Sounds good. Thanks for talking with me today.
No problem. Thank you. This was great.
Yeah.
Let me know when you want to do it again.
Okay, I will.
All right? Okay. We'll talk soon then. Thanks.
Have a good one.
You too.
Thank you. Bye.
Do you want to help bring more self-energy to the world? If you'd like to participate in calls or help out with this project in any way, I'd love to hear your ideas. Join the Discord server or contact me at james@liveifs.com. A huge thanks to our audio engineer, Zikri, for your care and diligence in editing the calls. To every caller for your courage in sharing some of your parts. And to anyone out there getting to know their internal system, keep going. Who knows, that might be the most selfless, helpful thing you can do for others, and you're the only one who can do it. If you'd like to see us reach the largest audience, we must please the almighty suggestion algorithms at iTunes and YouTube, and they don't care about the power of IFS. They're looking for likes and shares and comments, and the sooner the better. Follow the links in the show notes right here in your podcast player to make your wishes known. And now, a minute of meditation. Or if you prefer, pull over. You can do it in 60 seconds. Just click one of those links. They're right there, and give us a like or a 5-star rating. It would really help. If you think this project is helping people, you're helping people by sharing it. Thank you.